I
Tatum's
fucking would.
MVP. It's okay.
Also, like my camera is just not cooperating, so we can just start. I'll just do it from the computer.
You gotta do the computer.
It doesn't look bad.
They're cute.
Oh, fuck.
Thanks, Cobe. All right. So here, let me write it down. Cobe first for the first one. Jake first for the second one. Sam first for the third one. There's a couple locks this week. Like I feel like this is gonna be one of those weeks where everybody's on like the same two games.
Sean might jump through the TV or the computer screen and strangle me after I say my luck.
Well,
Sorry,
I
but
don't like the
sorry, Sean. You know what's coming, buddy. I think you know what's coming.
All right. Camera on me. Yes. Hello and welcome to the Boys Upstairs Show. This is the Week 11 NFL show.
Woo!
Whee!
Game one on the slate here. I'm going to say the records from this point forward because we're through 11 weeks at this point, through 10 weeks, week 11. I think it's.
You don't have to. It's okay.
No, you don't have to say that.
We can just skip through that.
We
No,
can say
I'm not talking about like our records. I'm talking about the records of the teams. All right. So the Jets are 6-3. The Patriots are 5-4. I'm in first for the show though. But anyways, Patriots are -3.5. Over-under's 38.5. I've seen a lot of totals in the 30s this year. For this game, we will send it over to Cobe, Patriots fan.
First, I just want to say, let me start with the stats. Mac Jones in his career against the Jets is 3-0. He has 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 94 passer rating, a 69% completion percentage, and he averages 229 yards per game. The Patriots have had the Jets numbers since the franchise was created. I think that we beat them right before the bye week. We always just have the Jets number. We know how to outcoach them. Our defense is top 5, top 10 in the league. Their offense with Zach Wilson is they lost Brees. So the running game's not there exactly, which was the one thing they really had going for him. So I just think that it's going to be a low scoring game, and they don't have the offense to get around our defense. So I have to take the Pats.
Coby, those stats were so cute. It was adorable. And I really struggled to pick this game because you're right. The Patriots have had the Jets number forever. And it feels like that would never end. But the Jets this year have shown kind of a resurgence with Robert Saleh, and even, I don't know how they're 6-3 with Zach Wilson under center, but they somehow are. And it's a 3.5 point spread here. And the Patriots this year, I feel like they're a very well-coached team. That goes without saying. That's very obvious. But I'm not bought in on Mac Jones at all. I love Ramondre Stevenson. When Damian Harris is in, he's great too. Their ground game is pretty good, and they've kind of had an interesting record of like beating up on shitty teams. And their defense really feels like it's hit or miss. One week it shows up, the next week it doesn't. That being said, other than that, I don't really have any fancy evidence that I'm going to throw out here. I'm just going to go with the Jets plus 3.5. I think it's a divisional game. It's going to stay close. And I'm also going with the under 38.5. Whenever a total is in the 30s, I always take the under, because when it's in the 30s, Vegas likes to scare people with that number of 30. Oh my God, it's a football game. You get 7 points for one score. There's no way it's going to be in the 30s. It will. And I believe this game is in New England this weekend. And I believe that Buffalo snowstorm is going to be heading through New England too, at least a little bit. So weather could be a little bit of a factor. And I don't see many points being scored in this game. I think the Jets can pull one out here.
I'm going to ride with Sam. I like the under. It's going to be a cold game, low 20s. These teams don't score a lot. So, yeah, under.
All right. I'm on the Patriots. It's Bill Belichick against a talented but flawed and turnover-prone quarterback. He's owned Zach Wilson. He's owned the Jets for the past few years, really for the last 20 years. So, but I'm going to give the Jets some love here. Sauce Gardner is the best cornerback in football, at least for this year. I got to give that dude credit. He has completely changed the Jets from a losing laughing stock into a winning culture, at least for this year. Now, is that going to continue into the future? Maybe. We will see. But Bill Belichick's a smart dude. He knows on offense, as you guys said, to run the ball, don't throw at Sauce, even though I think he's amazing. I like the Patriots -3.5.
I'm taking Pats -3.5. I'm in Boston right now, and I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking freezing outside. I really think it's gonna be a defensive showdown. Since November 17th, 2016, the Pats are 13-0 versus the Jets. And I think it's gonna be 14-0.
So the Jets right now are bottom half in the league in defending the run, which is I thought was pretty surprising. And with the weather being inclement and all that stuff, that pretty much points, Patriots are home. That pretty much points everything to, being, the Patriots, covering the spread and everything like that. But one thing that really kind of pushed me away from the Pats here is the Jets' ability to turn people over. Fumbles, fumble recoveries, picks in the top half of the league and forcing turnovers. And with a quarterback like Mac Jones, who's been very susceptible to turning the ball over, I could really see the Jets kind of hanging in there and pulling it out towards the fourth quarter, just based on Mac Jones's turnover problem. So I'm going to go with the Jets here.
I think Patriots at home. This game, 3.5 is the worst number you can possibly see when you're trying to look at a board. But I think that Patriots at home, cold game. So this just feels like Patriots at home. Patriots are going to win. Patriots -3.5. So with that, we'll go to game 2 on the slate here. Cowboys, Vikings. Cowboys somehow, in one of the crazier spreads I've ever seen, favorites on the road at the 8-1 Vikings. Cowboys are 6-3.
Gentlemen, it was a hell of a weekend if you cheer for the purple and gold. And listen, everyone's going to say, oh, they got lucky and Josh Allen fumbled the game away and Justin Jefferson had the greatest catch in the history of football. That's not sustainable. Well, let me just say this, okay? The Bills had 12 men on the field in the red zone. The Gabe Davis catch was not a catch. Those refs had Bills money line and the refs lost. I won, the refs lost, and my team won, of course. Listen, here's what I'm going to say. Minnesota's 8-1. Dallas is favored. Are you kidding me? That means if the game was in Dallas, then Dallas would be an 8-point favorite over the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings. Are you freaking kidding me? Dak Prescott and Kirk Cousins are identical, except Dak is in chunky suit and sleep number commercials, and Kirk Cousins only wears his teammates' gold chains on his plane and is on their Instagram stories when he wins football games. Something Dak doesn't know how to do after those 2 picks against the Packers. By the way, we're tape recording this right now during the Packers game. The Packers stink. They're losing to Ryan Tannehill right now. Wait, are they still losing? Yes, they're still losing. All right, the Minnesota, dude. It's the answer. And by the way, it's about time that Mr. Tommy over there starts recognizing Minnesota as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. I know he never will until we're holding up that trophy at the end of the year. But he needs to start now.
Are you done? Do you want me to
go? Minnesota spread. Actually, I want Sean or Payton to go. Someone who's kind about my who's going to be nice about my team.
If you're gonna name drop me, call me out. I'm gonna go next. All right,
because you've shown the least respect to my team of anybody on this level,
and I will continue to do so.
But Minnesota's the bet.
I usually like to bring a lot of against the spread and over/under stats to the show. I have one stat this week.
Talk to me.
I think you know where this is going. Kirk Cousins, 7-14 in late afternoon games in his career. This happens to be a late afternoon game. I know that the Cowboys are favored on the road, and that makes me a little scared, but it's basically a pick 'em. It's basically a money line bet. I'm taking the Cowboys here. They're coming off a loss. I hate the Cowboys. I also hate the Vikings. I'm glad that Scott isn't here, so he can't be like, yes, but I'm taking the Cowboys here. Reluctantly so. But I just think that this is a game that the Cowboys will win. Not even biased pick because I just want to oppose Jake. I think the Cowboys will win this game.
Vikings, like Jake said, coming off a crazy game, probably going to end up being game of the year this season. Everything just seems to be going right for them. And, like we've already established, this line is pretty crazy that that they're underdogs at this point, especially at home. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick the Vikings here. But I will also go ahead and pick the under for the game as well, 47.5. Just because I think that the Cowboys defense is very, very solid. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. You know, the Cowboys like to run the ball. They control time of possession a lot. You know, the Vikings are a big play team, but I feel like the Cowboys will kind of, you know, slow them down just a little bit. But I still think the Vikings will have too much firepower for that Cowboys defense to handle. You know, with obviously Jettas and Cook and you know, but Tommy mentioned the late afternoon stat. I do not trust Kirk Cousins if it's not 1 o'clock. So I wouldn't be surprised if anyone else.
By the way, like not because you're off next one, but like last week I don't understand this at all. But somehow that Vikings Bills game was a 1 o'clock game. Like if that game was 4:25, 4:05, 8:25, 8:15, like is that game a game that the Vikings win? Most likely no. But it was at 1 o'clock. Who knows why? But
Kirk Cousins didn't even play that well last week. He threw 2 picks. The whole reason that we won the game is because of Patrick Peterson is one of the best cornerbacks in the league still, even though he's been in the league for over 10 years, it feels like. And Justin Jefferson is the offensive player of the year so far. Either him or Tyreek Hill are neck and neck. Listen, all Kirk's got to do is take care of the ball. He didn't do it last week, and we still found a way to win, which is great. Listen, I'm not asking him to be 80% completions, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. I'm asking him to be the best version of a game manager, make some key throws when he has to. And I believe that he's shown this year he's consistently able to do that.
I have a couple things to say here. First of all, I'm defending Scott's honor as I told him I would do so. I'm also defending my honor because I said last week that the Cowboys were going to lose to the Packers and then beat the Vikings, and I'm sticking to that. I think anyone who looks at this game and tries to draw conclusions from what happened last week is an idiot because the Dallas game was very weird. Mike McCarthy lost it for his own team. I think he was just trying to help out Green Bay a little bit because he felt bad. That being said, I also wanted to call out Jake because a telltale sign of someone not being confident in their quarterback is when they call them a game manager.
He's the best version of a game manager. Dude, that's what Troy Aikman was. He had Emmitt Smith, an awesome offensive line, and Mike Irvin. Now Kirk Cousins is not as good as Troy Aikman, so don't clip that and make me look like a fucking idiot.
Kirk Cousins is a free agent this offseason. If you guys continue to win like this, you're going to have to give him $40 million. So you're going to want to do that? Yes or no?
Well, also Lamar is an unrestricted free agent after this year. And
well, I mean,
zone reads with Dalvin Cook, deep balls to just. You think I'm obnoxious now? Oh my Lord in heaven!
Okay, let me finish up real quick.
Yeah, keep going
because I know Jake wants to keep rambling on. But my conclusion here is that I don't really think either team's style of play is going to win them this game. I think this game could be one of those weird ones, and I'm going with my gut like I did last week for the Commanders-Eagles. And I said it last week, the Eagles had this kind of fairy tale thing going where they hadn't faced any adversity really or whatever, and that's not true for the Vikings. They faced a lot of adversity. They've come back from deficits, and I feel like almost every game they've played. But eventually, it's not sustainable. Some team is going to come in, take a lead on them, and then they're going to lock them down. And do I think the Cowboys are a team that's best fit to do this? No. I thought the Bills were last week, and what did they do? They got a 3-score lead and went and blew it. But I think the Vikings, and before Jake gets all pissed off, they're playing really well. They're doing what it takes to win. But I think they're getting a little too comfortable in these situations of going down and thinking, oh, well, we can just play hero ball in the fourth quarter and then win a game. I think their luck is going to run out on that some point, and I think that happens this week. And I think that is why the Cowboys are favored here, because there's really no other reason the Cowboys should be favored. A lot of what you said about Dak Prescott is right. He is better than Kirk Cousins, so you're wrong about that. But yeah, I just see this one being one that the Cowboys win here. I think it could be more than a touchdown, honestly. It's a hot take.
I'm going to ride with Jake here. I don't know what the fuck Vegas knows. I don't believe in that stat about the afternoon, whatever. That's stupid. I'm going to take the points. I mean, I'm not looking too much into it. It's simple. So go Vikings. Oh, and I got the over.
It's
So
one
yeah,
point.
Sean,
My bad.
that was good. What you're saying?
It's 1 point. Like you're like, I'm taking the points. Like it's 1 point. It's basically a money line. Like
No, it's 1.5 points. Come on. It's
All
a
right,
big
well,
difference.
I'm gonna follow Sean and Jake. I think the Cowboys are extremely overrated. I'm not gonna lie. I honestly liked him better with Cooper Rush.
That's interesting.
I did.
That's interesting because if they lose this game, people are going to be like, "Well, maybe who's the better quarterback for us?" But
I
keep
don't
going.
know. I just think Dak's gonna play like shit. So I'll give it to the Vikings defense for that. And I think with Zeke coming back, this is a bold take, but I think it honestly hurts the Cowboys because I think Pollard's better. He's more explosive. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Vikings. I don't know if Vegas thinks they know.
You see Kirk Duggins with the chains on, shirt off, low key 6-pack on the jet. Everyone's recording him like he's the Make-A-Wish kid. Like they're having fun. They're playing great football. I think this Vikings offense is a whole lot to handle. And I think that it's so much to handle that it's going to be nearly impossible for this Cowboys mid-tier offense, one good receiver, weird thing going on at running back. Dak is just an athletic Kirk Cousins, if you ask me. Maybe a little slightly more handsome, but I think the Vikings got to take this one. I am taking the under. I do think it's going to be a slower game because of the Cowboys defense and the Vikings defense, but I definitely got to take the Vikings.
Dak being more handsome than Kirk is a hot take.
All right, so this game 3 on the slate here. This is prime time, right? Sunday Night Football? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, cool. Because this is the type of spread where you just go, that's a tough one, especially because it's the Chiefs and they don't cover the spread. But Chiefs are -6.5 against the Chargers at the Chargers. Worst home stadium in the NFL. Total's 50, even. We're going to go ahead and give it to Sam here. Go crazy.
Not much to go crazy about here, especially if you're a Chargers fan, because my big take here is that the Chargers fucking suck. I mean, they're brutal, very overrated. I think every week they're getting a lot of credit that they should not be getting. This is not too many points for the Chiefs. I'm not big on the Niners, and I'm certainly not big on the Chargers. I'm not big on Justin Herbert at all. I think their offense is pretty much shit unless Eckler goes off. I mean, yes, they're missing, or I don't know if Mike Williams was in last week or Keenan Allen, but even if they were in, they've still been terrible. And the Chiefs, I'm not one to hop on bandwagons like this, but the Chiefs are a wagon. I mean, they're a great football team. They went and they played it really close with the Titans, but that's just a Mike Vrabel coaching job of game planning it to the extreme, and it worked really well for them. But I think the Chiefs are going to come in and take control of this game from the first minute they step in. I think and it's Sunday Night Football, Patrick Mahomes. So Chris Collinsworth is going to be, the entire time. It's going to be all of that. He's going to throw a couple underhand passes. He's going to do a couple dances and do maybe a little basketball shot to fucking Sky Moore or whoever in the end zone. But I think the Chiefs win this game. I don't really want to touch the total because by the same reason as the under 38 in the Jets-Patriots game, I don't like overs in the 50s. If it's in the 40s, I'll take over-unders. I like unders in the 30s, but I don't like anything in the 50s really because I feel like we've been boned on these a couple with the Chiefs that they're always in like very high total games, but you never really know what's going to happen. This game could be 55-50 for all I know. But yeah, I think the Chiefs take this game pretty easily from the jump.
I like the Chiefs and I like the over. I never usually bet the Chiefs because in 2020 they went something like 10 straight games and didn't cover, and it hurt to watch. They were up big, then they would blow it at the end and barely win, and they would never cover. But I do think that Patrick Mahomes is on a different level this year. Tyreek Hill left, and he wanted to prove to the rest of the league that he's still the best quarterback in the league. And thus far this year, he's done that. And Sam said that the Chargers suck. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think they're dealing with a ton of injuries, and it's just too much to overcome. And I also think that Herbert is playing hurt. I'm a huge Herbert guy. He threw for 5,000 yards last year. And his first year in the league, he was awesome on an awful team. I think those ribs are still bothering him. And even though it's in SoFi, because the Chargers don't really have any fans, there's probably going to be the same amount of Chiefs fans there as there are going to be Charger fans. So give me the Chiefs -6.5 and give me the over. I like there to be some points scored in this one.
These teams already played this year, division game. Chiefs won 27-24, which is why the 6.5 spread is just like an iffy spread. But Juju's also probably going to be out this week. I still don't at this moment know exactly what I want to do with this game, but I'm going to go Chiefs minus 6.5. I don't know if it's going to be plus money yet, but I'm going to take Kadarius Toney anytime touchdown if it's plus money. I think that if the Chiefs win this game, they're going to have a big game from Kadarius Toney. So give me the Chiefs minus 6.5.
I'm taking the Chargers. The spread, not them to win, but the spread. 6.5 is a lot of points. To me, this screams Colts game. I took the Chiefs over the Colts. That game looked like easy money. It was like 5.5, 6 points. Oh, how are they not going to beat the Colts by a touchdown? Touchdown is a lot of points. I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I don't know if it's going to be by that many. Jake mentioned Justin Herbert's playing injured, and he's also playing with an injured team around him. They had Rashawn Slater. He's an offensive lineman, one of the best ones in the league. He's been done for the season. Mike Williams hasn't played in like a month. Keenan Allen's hamstring is dead.
Both of them are still questionable. They might not play this week either.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They've been hurt, and Keenan Allen has the worst hamstring ever. It's kept him out for 100 million games just from a hamstring. So I don't totally blame Justin Herbert. I'm still big on him. I think he has Aaron Rodgers type arm talent that's just insane. If you see some of the throws he makes, it's crazy. And I think that the Chargers have been an up and down team this year, but they still have been getting it done with what they have. Juju is going to be out because if anyone saw, he got absolutely murdered last week. That literally could have been a felony what happened to him. I think that they have just enough to get the Chiefs just by under 6.
All right, I'm going to take the Chargers plus 6.5. It's a lot of points. I still think the Chiefs are going to win, but it's just a lot of points. A lot of people hurt, like on both teams. I don't want to look too much into it. I'm just going to go off my gut. I do like Justin Herbert. I do think he's a pretty good quarterback. I think he has no one to throw to right now. But yeah, I think the Chiefs will win, but I'm going to take Chargers plus 6.5.
So I'm going to take the Chiefs here, and I understand everyone's concerns. They never cover the spread. They play everyone close, and I get it. But I just think the Chargers are so depleted offensively that they don't have enough firepower to compete with the Chiefs. And I know they're missing Juju, but they still got Travis Kelce. They still got McCole Hartman. They got a new toy. Andy Reid got a new toy to play with Kadarius Toney. You see how that went last week. They got a lot of good stuff going on in Kansas City in that offense. And I think they put up too many points, and the Chargers don't have enough to handle all of it. If they were healthy, I would understand where you guys are coming from. But I just think they're too depleted, especially if Keenan and Mike don't play again. They just don't have enough to score enough to hang with the Chiefs. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Chiefs to win by a touchdown. I'm not going to touch the point spread because, like I said, I would have picked the over, but I don't know if the Chargers are going to score enough to get to that 50 mark total. So I'm not going to touch the point total, but I'm going to take the Chiefs to cover the spread. I might fucking regret it, but who knows?
Most of whatnot has been said. I don't have any fancy stats. Give me a Mike Williams touchdown and throw in a Juju touchdown if he plays. Both of those guys probably aren't, but
Sean, first off, 0% chance that those would be plus money and 0% chance that those guys are playing.
I think the Mike Williams one would be plus money.
Maybe.
I think they would both be plus
yeah,
money.
No.
Ass.
No, I'm sorry. No, Sean, I meant the. Sorry, I don't think there's a universe where Juju plays. He got decked last week. He's out. I think Mike Williams would be like plus 120, but he's questionable. I don't know.
If Mike Williams plays and Keenan Allen doesn't, then Mike Williams is going to be a number one receiver. That probably won't be plus money, but maybe. I don't know. If it is, I'll give it to you.
Wait,
But
is Sean like at the bottom of the standings for?
yeah, he is.
Then you can give him that.
I'll give it to him if it's minus money. I'm not going to sacrifice the integrity of the show just because Sean's in last. He did that to himself. But I will say, out of Sean's credit here, he's not in 30% anymore. We officially have 0 people in the 30s now. So
yeah, I've been on the up the last couple of weeks. Positive improvement.
Good job, Sean. We're proud of you.
all right, it's time for the best part of the show, locks of the week. We will give it to Nickson first here. First lock of the week. Go ahead.
All right, so let's go. My lock of the week is, and shout out to my two Bears fans here, Peyton and Sam. I'm going Bears +3.
All right.
I just really like what I've been seeing out of Justin Fields. And I know they haven't been really able to, pull some wins together. But I think this week is the week that they get one. I think I just see the offense. It's on an upward, they're trending upward. And I really think that this is the week where everything comes together and you guys finally get one.
I love it.
Against, and and especially it being against the Falcons, that helps a lot.
Yes,
too, so.
very much.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster of emotions with this team. But I'm loving the Bears right now, and I'm just gonna roll with it. So that's my lock.
I'm going Bears +3 as my lock. Because apparently Kyler Murray might not play for the Cardinals, and I don't trust whoever the hell is his backup to
Colt
cover the
McCoy,
spread.
dude. Bro, Colt McCoy's a baller.
Dude, he's a
I
gunslinger.
love Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy, dude. Come on.
All right, fuck it. Cardinals +8. Cardinals +8. That's my lock.
All right. We'll do it again.
Wait, hold on. Just quickly. I think that game is that game even
That's in Mexico.
America? Yeah, it's in
Mexico
Mexico.
City.
So
in Mexico City.
it's a neutral field 8.5. So you got to think about that. It's not in San Francisco or anything.
Okay, can I do a little quick one here just so Tommy can edit it?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna mute myself. It's on you. So go ahead.
Okay. My lock is the Cardinals +8 against the Niners. The Niners should not be a 6 or more point favorite against anyone, no matter who the starting quarterback is. If it's Kyler, if it's Colt McCoy, if it's Davis Mills, if it's Ryan Leaf, if it's David Blau. I don't care. The Niners are not that good of a football team this year. And I love Colt McCoy. I mean, the dude's just a rock star. Ever since college, he goes in. What does he do? He gives you a chance to win fucking football games. And whether it's him or Kyler, I don't see the Niners coming in and doing anything easily this season, especially in Mexico City. Destination games have a tendency to be very close.
I want to thank the Rooney family for and Mike Tomlin off a bye. Maybe the best bet in all of football. Even though how bad the Steelers have looked this year, Mike Tomlin off a bye. Maybe the best bet. This dude comes out guns blazing. Andy Dalton, yeah, he's played Andy Dalton 25 fucking times. Dude, the Bengals just cooked him, even though Tiny Hands is still getting his bearings as the starting quarterback in the league. The big bad Bengals are coming to town, though, Sean. Joe Burrow, since he threw 4 picks in week 1 against the Steelers, when they lost that game because of a bad special teams, ordeal, the holder was hurt, the kicker struggled. I think the Bengals are going to come into town and cover the 3.5. I'm sorry, don't hate me. I understand TJ Watt's back and he's awesome, but I'm going to ride with Joe Burrow at the Steelers, cover the 3.5. Sorry, Sean. Sorry, buddy.
Understandable.
Me next. This is the National Football League, Jake. I don't know if you knew that, but wins or losses. Wins or wins, losses or losses. And
yeah.
Oh, of course you're pulling that card now.
That
is the most hypocritical thing you have done.
Dude, I literally have given you, when you say, like the 49ers played in the rain too, week 1, like I've given you that. I've given the Bears credit all
No,
year.
you didn't. You labeled them dog shit when they were 2-1 because you said that they shouldn't have won these games.
Okay.
Oh, and now you're saying wins are wins.
8 weeks ago, they were a different football team than they are right now. 8 weeks ago, Justin Fields was throwing like 12 passes a game. Like he
still kind of is. He's just
Okay.
running a lot more.
yeah, evolved. Like he's evolved since then, and you know it. But regardless of that, the Steelers beat the Bengals money line week 1 in Cincinnati. This game's in Pittsburgh. I'm not taking the Steelers as my lock. I'm just saying this is the National Football League. Wins are wins, losses are losses. But either way, my lock of the week. This one, Jake alluded to it earlier. I don't know if we were recording, so people might not have heard it. But either way, the Buffalo Bills are not playing a home game in Buffalo this week. It's in Detroit, Ford Field, which is a dome. So the Thunder, what's it called? Winter, it's like Thunder
Snow.
Thunder Snow. Yeah.
Polar vortex, polar apocalypse, something like that. Just give it a fancy name. Something, dude. It's ridiculous.
It's bad enough that they had to move the football game. But the Buffalo Bills are coming off a really, really embarrassing loss. I think Josh Allen is probably pretty sick right now, if I had to guess. They're only -8.5 against the Browns. I think that the Bills, especially in a dome, might put up 50 points in this game. I think that they're going to blow the fuck out of the Browns. Last week, I had in real life a parlay, money line parlay. Browns happened to be one of those teams. I thought it was going to be a sneaky little bet against the Dolphins. They got blown out by the Dolphins. I don't like the Browns. I think they suck. I think that the Bills are going to blow them out here. -8.5, could be 10.5, could be more. The fact that they are a bigger favorite against the Packers than the Browns, I don't understand that. But give me the Bills -8.5 here.
You think they're gonna put the Bills logo like midfield and like make all the?
I don't know.
Like, how do you think that's gonna be?
I don't know that, to be honest. I think last year that the Saints and somebody had to play a game in Jacksonville because of a hurricane, but I don't know if they did the field.
I think they just put the NFL logo, and because they have to plan the game a few days in advance, they give the tickets away extremely cheap just so they get somewhat of a crowd there.
I didn't think about that.
I think they've had to move a few games. I think they were thinking about when there was the hurricane in August or not August, but whatever it was. It was like the third week of the year in Tampa. They thought about moving the Chiefs game against the Bucks to Detroit too. And they were planning, I remember reading that they were going to give away free tickets from there, but the hurricane left, so they brought the game back to Tampa. But yeah, it's going to be a small crowd, and the Bills are going to have perfect weather.
There will
in a
be some
dome.
dudes in Buffalo who will go to Detroit. For
Oh, without a doubt. If there's
There
one
will be
fan
Buffalo
base,
residents.
if
Especially.
there's one fan base that'll travel, it's Bills Mafia. I'll give them that.
So after seeing Tommy's fit, I thought he was going to go a different direction with his lock, but I'm going to go in that direction. My lock is the Washington Commanders -3 over the Texans. Now the Commanders are the most confusing team to me in football. They have mid to bad level quarterback play. I know they just beat the Eagles. Taylor Heineke had a 66 passer rating in a win against the Eagles. So the quarterback play is subpar. Brian Robinson, he has a great story. He's been a bottom 5 starting running back in the NFL. Antonio Gibson's favorite thing is to give the ball to the other team. Terry McLaurin's amazing, but all the other receivers are like so-so. So their defense is like mid. So they're the most confusing team to me. But they make it work. And if they made it work against the Eagles, then they damn sure can make it work against the Texans. If you're going to win with a 66 passer rating against the Eagles, I'm sure you can win with a 45 passer rating against the Texans. I feel like with the way they've been playing, a field goal win against the Texans, who have probably been the worst team in the NFL, is honestly slightly disrespectful. So I just think that they make their roster work. No, they have bad run game, but they make it work. McLaurin has made some insane catches this year. He's great at changing to the ball and making adjustments. So I think that the Commanders are just going to come in this one, take an easy win. I mean, the Texans have had Dameon Pierce, their run game going a little bit, but that's all they really have going. And the Commanders are literally the middle team in run defense, a mid-level run defense. So I think that's just about good enough to win by at least a field goal against the Texans.
Kind of going the same route as Tommy here. The Eagles are playing the Colts after getting defeated last week. They are -6.5 favorites, which is a good bit, but the Colts don't know who they are. And the Eagles need a bounce back win in a big way. So give me the Eagles.
All right. I like that pick, Sean. And the only reason I didn't take the Commanders is A, because I thought a bunch of people were going to, but they didn't. And B, because I also was like sneakily like the Texans, even though they're like probably the worst team in the NFL. Like I think they're better than their record shows. So I don't know, but
They're 1-7-1. God,
but they've been in a lot of close games. Like I think they're better than that. But either way, they're trying to lose. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you guys for being here. Like and subscribe. And like and subscribe.
Nice.